In today's episode, we will talk about the top 5 things that you should discuss with your fiancé before you start the wedding planning. So I just want to begin this video by saying that I'm not a wedding expert. I just want to share my experience on the things that worked for me and things that didn't, so that someone who's on a similar journey like me can just, kind of benefit from it. And also, there's no right or wrong way to do it. If some things have worked for you, I would love to hear that. Please do comment below and let me know so that we all can learn from each other that way. Honestly, planning the wedding is the first big event that you and your partner will work together, and there will be a lot of decisions that you guys need to take, and some decisions you all may not agree on. There'll be a difference of opinion. So it'll give you a glimpse of how your future decision making process will be like. So it's going to be fun. Alright, having said that, let's just begin. The first thing that you need to discuss with your partner is what is their idea of a wedding. Growing up, we have kind of thought of how we want our wedding to be like. Maybe there's some changes while we've become bigger, and our partner may have a different image of what they want the wedding to be like. And if that's not communicated clearly, you may have a different thought of how your wedding day will look like, and he will have a complete different thought, and you all both are planning like two completely different weddings. Alright, so it's so important to just sit together and probably just discuss, like, what is your idea of a wedding? Like, how do you want your wedding to be? Do you want an intimate wedding, a big fat Indian wedding? Do you want like a destination wedding, a theme-based wedding? What is it that you imagine when you think of your wedding day? And when you discuss that, you realize that okay, you have a different point, he has a different point, and you all can club both these thoughts and ideas together to make a complete picture of how your wedding day will look like. And that's just so beautiful. The second most important discussion that you need to have is what is important for you on the wedding day. Because every couple is different, every individual is different. So there'll be some parts of the wedding which will be important for you, some things or rituals which you really want to incorporate. So when we were discussing, one thing that we were sure of is if something is important to both of us, it definitely has to be there. If something is important to one of us, even then it has to be there. Because this wedding is about us. So as long as it has components which is important to both of us or one of us, it has to be there for the wedding. Like, both of us equally wanted to have like a good amount of our budget spent for photography and videography, because that was important to us. And photos and videos were the only thing from the wedding that you take back. So truly we both wanted to spend on that. For me, I really was excited to kind of have like a date jar kind of a setup for guests where they can write their date ideas or give us some advice and things like that. And that was an idea that I put forth to my partner, and he was very open about it, and he was also excited equally. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So he similarly wanted to keep like a bar counter, and I was okay not to have it and stuff like that. But because it was important for him and he wanted it, I was like, okay, let's have it, because that's something that's important for you. So similarly, you guys sit together with your partner and decide what is important for both of you all, what is important for you, what's important for him, and combine those ideas to make your picture of the wedding complete. Then comes the third most important point of discussion, which is the budget. And I have seen couples who plan for weddings without knowing what their budget is. Okay, without having this discussion of how much each of us want to spend for the wedding is very important, because everything else that you all plan will kind of fall back on this. So and the wedding industry is such a rabbit hole. As soon as you go for shopping, as soon as you start buying stuff and looking at things, you will realize that you just have so many options that you end up buying things that you may not need, or by the end of it you're like, oh my god, I've already gone over budget because I don't know what my budget is. So have that discussion with your partner, understand how much each of y'all want to chip in, how much y'all want to spend, and if y'all are okay with it. And it also links back to the first 2 points of what was important for y'all and what kind of wedding y'all want. Say in the first point you said you want a big fat Indian wedding, but the budget you want to put is only 2 lakhs, then it will not kind of match the goal, right? So you need to kind of ensure that whatever your first 2 points are, that's also covered, and your budget kind of links back to it. So that discussion becomes much more clearer of how we will achieve the vision within the allocated budget that we have. Next step is to broadly categorize all the major expenses for your wedding. Okay, now the major categories in all the weddings will be venue, food, DJ, decor, your photography and videography, your clothes, your bridal party clothes, flowers, accessories, jewelry, and family clothes in case if you're buying clothes for your parents and all of that. And also keep a category like miscellaneous, because there'll be a lot of added stuffs that will keep coming. Once you have done the categorization of that, the next step is to allocate the budget. Okay, allocate a percentage of your budget to each of those categories. Now, if you are getting married, I'm sure you must have gone on Pinterest and searched for wedding planning and all of that, and I did the same, and I found so many options of budget planning, for it on Pinterest, on Google, on YouTube videos. When I tried doing those, it honestly did not fit as per my initial plan of what I wanted the wedding to look like, because some place they were saying to allocate more amount on decor, and I did not want to spend that much on decor because that wasn't aligning with my and my partner's vision for the wedding day. I would say look at all the options online, but put the percentages basis what your vision for the wedding is. I mean, your and your partner's vision for the wedding is. So obviously the major chunk will go for venue and for food, but after that you decide that okay, and it does not even have to go for venue. What if you and your partner decide that you all want a backyard wedding, or maybe you all want to just get married on the terrace? So venue is like not going to be that much. So that's what I said. The first 2 points will actually determine how much percentage of your budget you want to put for each of these categories. Put basis your requirement. Okay, don't follow any, look at the templates, but follow your requirement to allocate a particular budget. So if your budget is 10 lakhs, how much percentage out of that do you want to allocate to venue? How much for your clothes? How much for your food? How much for everything else? So each category will have a certain allocation, and then remaining you can keep in miscellaneous. These 5 points are covered. Trust me, the remaining process of your wedding planning just becomes so much more easier. So I'll tell you how these 5 things helped us, okay? There are a lot of vendors that you talk to, and sometimes your partner cannot be available always, right? They're busy, they're occupied, they're at work, and maybe you're not there or he's not there, and you have to lead the conversation for both of you guys. Having a clear idea that yours and your partner's vision for the wedding is the same makes it so much easier, because when you are talking, you're representing the both of you all, and knowing what exactly you all want for the wedding makes it very easy for you to communicate to the vendor. And if the vendor understands what you all want for the wedding, it becomes easier for them to execute it. Also, when we came to allocating of budgets, it was clear what we wanted to filter out. I used to not even look at that because that was not part of the budget. So even when it came to clothes, I had allocated how much I want to spend on my gown. So as much as there were few bridal gowns that I really liked and I really wanted to go with those vendors, the cost was too much. And I was like, oh, okay, do I want to do it? Should I do it? Maybe I can just do it. It's okay, let me just spend. It's fine, it's wedding day. And all those thoughts come. Trust me, it gets very tempting to just be like, it's your wedding day, it's okay, you can spend. But then looking at the budget, you're like, there was a reason you set that budget. Okay, so unless you truly feel that, okay, you want to spend a lot, that's your call. But if you feel that it can happen within the budget and you will still look beautiful, trust me, then stick to that budget, because that really helped me when I was feeling tempted to spend more. Other way it helped me was when I wanted to like spend like say 5-10,000 more in one area. I could easily look at the allocation and see from which I can reduce. So maybe for accessories, if I've given like say 10,000 and I feel that I don't want to spend 10,000, I can buy the accessories in 5,000. I can easily reduce 5,000 from there and put it into some other categories where I really want to spend. So I think having these 5 broad discussions with your partner makes the next steps of planning much easier. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video at least. I think I covered all the important points. Do let me know in the comments, as I said below, if you all have followed any of these steps or if you all have done something else in addition to this which has helped you all, because it's so fun to kind of know from each other how exactly things have been planned. Alright, so next week I'll come up with another wedding series video. Until then, always spread love, positivity and kindness. Bye.